have been patiently waiting for a fantastic show from the NAO squad. It is only two of us tonight, Marky Mark and the Prince. We're going to do something a little different tonight. We're going to go over ADP. It is the season for redrafts, but we're going to go for Dynasty ADP because we are in a Dynasty league. We're going to break it down into chunks. This is single, 10-man, single quarterback Dynasty. We're going to use a Dynasty ranking system from Fantasy Football Calculator that the wonderful Marky Mark has provided. We're going to say who we like, who we don't like, and where they can stick it. So welcome to the show, Marky Mark. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like this because it's sort of the rankings, the impromptu rankings, I guess you could say. It's how, it's just like startup draft stuff. So this is where the community is ranking people, basically. So let's get into it, man. It should be some fun. Let's talk about some
Let's just
guys
say
that
I
some
have
of us
some
have.
big feelings about a couple of these players and where they're falling.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
The Prince has fucking big feelings about something. But what I'll do is I'll go down through the names real quick. We'll go 1 through 10. You're looking at the same list I am. I think this first 10 is very, very straightforward. We got Jamar Chase is 1, Justin Jefferson is 2, AJ Brown is 3, JT at 4, Bijan at 5, Breece Hall at 6, which if you go left or right, that could be a little wonky. We got Waddle at 7, CMC the man at 8. Garrett Wilson drops into the top 10 at 8. At 9. Saquon Barkley is at 10. Any of these pop off the list for you there, Mark and Mark?
We're seeing the mustache there.
Seeing the mustache.
The mustache within a mustache. That's my little pint glass there. Yeah, no, pretty straightforward. I mean, Saquon, I don't know. I mean, now that he's signed, he's showing that he wants to play. So, probably not a bad pick there. I guess if you're in a 10 team, if you're picking there, you're probably turning around and grabbing a wide receiver right afterwards. So not a bad one, but I don't know that I'm that high on him, but probably not a horrible place for him to be.
The thing I'm looking at in these first top 10 is on this calculator, they had a highest ranked and a lowest ranked.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that really pops off the page for me regarding those parameters is CMC. His highest draft is 105, which is kind of right where we would think you would be, right? Top 6, maybe top 7,
Yeah.
But the lowest is starting in the second round. If CMC is in the second round, he is probably the easiest pickup in the second round ever.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I have another, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is crazy town. Absolutely crazy that he's dropping to 201 in 10-team dynasty startups. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What are your feelings about Breece Hall there, Marky Mark?
Breece Hall, I think, is a good pick there. This year could be. He might have trouble living up to that ADP this year if they bring in Cook. But I think for him as a player moving forward, he definitely is worth picking in the top 10 because I feel like he'll get back to form. He may be a little slow starting with coming off that knee injury, but if he gets back up to form, then he's still young and he was killing it, man, before he got hurt there. Yeah. So I feel like there's more to come,
I agree. I think Jonathan Taylor and Breece Hall are two guys that are right where they need to be in ADP, but they have an asterisk, Jonathan Taylor, because his whole ownership hates him for some weird reason. And Breece Hall might have conflict in that backfield, which is to be seen yet. But for them to go number 4 for JT and number 6 for Breece Hall, I think that's fantastic spotting for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I may like Hall better than JT. I think.
Oh wow!
If there wasn't the injury, then I think Hall might be up above him. Just because it's couple years. Taylor's been in the league for a couple years more now, and he is getting onto that contract time, and it is a little more unsettled for him right now, where Breece is still on the rookie contract, and
it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So for dynasty purposes, I might take Breece over him.
So if Jonathan Taylor and Breece Hall are there, and you're picking in the middle of the first round, you're going to take Breece Hall over Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it was choosing between those two at any point, then I think I'd take Breece Hall. I really do.
Oh wow, you hear first there, Ricky. Jump on that. So all right, we're gonna jump down into the 11 through 20, and there's a big thing I want to talk about in this next 10. It is blasphemy, absolute blasphemy for fantasy football owners. All right, for the first one is Kenneth Walker III. Coming in at 12, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 13 is Travis Etienne. Number 14 is Chris Olave. Our first tight end on the board at 15 is Mark Andrews. 16 is Tyreek Hill. 17 is wide receiver 2 in Cincinnati, T. Higgins. And number 18 is Stephon Diggs. And number 19 is Austin Eckler. Rounding out the top 20 is Kyle fucking Pitts. All right, we'll get there. I have some big feelings about that because of a name that was not said in the top 20, and Kyle Pitts' fucking name was said in the top 20. But let's start from the top. Kenneth Walker. What do you think about Kenneth Walker? Is he being drafted early due to the rookie acquisition?
Yeah, the point I wanted to make in that section was I feel like Kenneth Walker and ETN are both a little high there for my liking, especially when you look down at number 19 and see Eckler down there.
Eckler? So the fact that Eckler is in the top 20 and not the top 10 is just absolutely baffling to me.
Yeah.
We've talked about running backs like Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne. I would take Austin Eckler over all of them.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
The only ones I would take over Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, not in any particular order, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan, and CMC. Yeah. Those are the only 3 that I would take over Eckler. And if it came down to like Jonathan Taylor or Eckler, I would look at it twice and probably take Jonathan Taylor just because of if he plays, he'll be good. But I mean, you're splitting hairs with him. Eckler in the bottom in the top 20 and not the top 10 is just freaking crazy to me.
Yeah, you look at they brought in Charbonnet, and I think because Kenneth Walker, he hits the big plays, but then he doesn't always do the little boring things like get you 2 or 3 yards when you need it. He got stuffed in the backfield a lot. He wasn't great around the goal line. I don't know that they go for Charbonnet if Walker was better at that stuff, but he really wasn't. So yeah, when he breaks off that big play, he gets you your fantasy points in 1 or 2 plays like that. But yeah, I don't think he was doing the little things well. ETN, they brought in Tank Bigsby. I think it's kind of the same thing. Tank is going to be the guy on the goal line. I think he's going to get more touchdown opportunities if he gets in there and starts playing right away this year, which I think he will.
So my point of view on this is with the whole running back controversy for contracts looming, I think general managers, owners, what have you, people making the decisions on draft day are saying, you know what, we're going to just draft another running back. So we're going to split your necessity into two people. So when you come to me and say that you want a big paycheck at the end of your rookie contract, we're going to be able to say, no, 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 sir. We have this other guy that's doing just as much, and we'll play with him for the next 2 years, and you can just go pound sand. I think that is what's happening here with like Kenneth Walker and ETN, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
totally understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of football teams are going to go to the dual back system, kind of like what Cleveland started with when they got Chubb and Hunt rocking and rolling, and they became a real good team through the run game. I think that's a lot of the blueprint that's being copied right now in the NFL.
Yeah, the Players Association doesn't do something to help out the running backs. They'll keep doing this where they just keep renewing it, so that by the
On
time
to the next one.
Yeah, when it's time for the contract, you say, okay, good luck to you. And I still got, in ETN's case, let's say, hey, I got tanked for 2 more years before I got to worry about that. So you go and God go with God and good luck,
Bless. So I do want to make a comment about the top 20 before I get into the absolute travesty that is at 20.
Right.
Evan from our league has said that we've been kind of blessed with wide receiver drafts each year in Dynasty. Like the last few drafts in wide receiver land have been absolutely phenomenal. And he's been one of the people, not one of the few, but one of the people that have been very outspoken about we've been pretty spoiled with fantastic wide receivers. And I think this top 20 has really shown that. I mean, of course, you have Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and that's it. Stephon Diggs, and Tyreek Hill are the seniors of this top 20.
Is
And
Devontae not in there?
Devontae is not in the top 20, which is crazy too. But I mean, we have
not Smith. I was talking about Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. He
wow,
is not in the top 20.
Look at him way down there, 32. Okay.
That is just proving his point. You know, I mean, like AJ Brown's the oldest in the top 3. We have people like Garrett Wilson breaking the mold. We have Amon-Ra coming in from the top 20. He was a wide receiver 2 last year, going to make that move into probably wide receiver 1 territory. Olave, obviously, I'm not going to go really deep into him because I'll look like a homer. But T. Higgins, he's been very good the last few years. When he needs to get paid, he's going to get fucking paid. Or just hit the bricks and go get paid, like I think as a general statement, like these wide receivers are coming in and some of these older wide receivers are dropping out, unfortunately. But let's get into this number 20 spot, Marky Mark. When we saw this list, this is the first thing that popped off the page to me. A tight end freaking travesty. We have Kyle Pitts at 20. You know who wasn't set in the top 20 there, Marky Mark?
Travis
fucking Kelce. Travis fucking Kelce was not in the top 20. Kyle Pitts over Travis Kelce? Am I losing my mind? Is that fucking ridiculous?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, we're talking dynasty, so I guess people are trying to be smart, and I'll get the next Travis Kelce, but
go get Travis Kelce.
Yeah, what if you can have the same production for another couple of years, while you're waiting for Pitts to get a good quarterback, and he's Pitts coming off injury too, so yeah, I thought that was crazy. I mean, I'm okay with anybody taking Andrews over Kelce, but then I don't know if I want to take Andrews as early as he's going.
Andrews going at 15 right now.
Yeah, I don't want to take Andrews there. I might take Kelce there, but I don't think I'd take Andrews there. But like I say, I couldn't fault somebody for taking Andrews who may have a few more years in him than Kelce does when we're talking about dynasty. But man, I mean, yeah.
See, I would understand. I would almost be on board if it was Andrew at 15, whatever, right? Then Kelsey at 20. I'd be like, okay, he's in the top 20, what have you.
Yeah.
And then Pitts being third option. Pitts being the number 2 option when he hasn't done much of anything, and Bijan Robinson is coming onto the team, and they don't have a very good quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know where they think all this production is going to come from, but they didn't use him for the last year. Last year, he was just god awful. You know what I mean?
He was hurt too, so we'll give him a break for that. But
okay, yeah,
it almost feels like betting on a long shot in the horse race, you know?
Yeah. He did set records in his rookie year for rookie tight end production. I will give him that. But I mean, like,
yeah, but the touchdowns weren't there.
Kelsey.
The touchdowns weren't there, you know, so it was some volume. But if you look at that, if you went and looked at his game logs for that first year, you'd be like, okay, maybe like 4 games that he was okay. You know,
Yeah.
it was sad, you know. So, and I'm speaking from experience, having him in a league where, you know, I thought, hey, I'm going to get the next Travis Kelce, and I've already traded him away in that league. So it was a disappointing year. That you know, like I say, yeah, he gave me a few good games, but I had him in there starting, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to move on to something different. You know, I don't even know who the heck I was putting in there, but it wasn't Kyle Pitts. You know.
All right, so let's get into this 21 to 30. We have
Okay.
Patty Mahomes coming in at 21. We have Nick Chubb, 22. DK Metcalf, 23. Devontae Smith at 24. Travis Kelce at 25, finally. And 26, we have Josh Jacobs. 27, we have the second quarterback off the board, who is none other than Josh Allen. 28, we have Ramondre Stevenson. 29, we have your boy Tony Pollard coming in at 29. And to round out the top 30 is Cooper, the man, Kupp. The only reason he's 30 is because of his age. So what do we think about the 21 through 30? We see a couple quarterbacks hit the board this time there, Primo.
Yeah, it's probably earlier than I would normally take quarterback. You can't blame guys for trying to get one of those difference makers, though, and that's probably not a bad place to do it. Not
Set
my
it and
preference,
forget it,
but
guys. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You never have to worry about quarterback ever again.
Yeah,
for another 10 years.
If I'm looking around, so who goes around him? Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about, so let's see, we're looking at from here. Yeah, Devonta Smith, you know, a guy you might want before. Armando or Tony Pollard, you know, you need a strong running back, and if you go on wide receiver, you might be looking at that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Josh Allen in there. I think Mahomes we kind of counted in the round before that, didn't we? Or no, he was 21.
21.
Okay, sorry, looking at it live here.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, you can't blame guys for taking a shot. There are a few guys there I think I would like better though. Kupp is the one that stood out to me because I've even at his age, and he's he's going at number 30. Man, let me be in that draft. I'm saying, man, you know.
So even to get into this,
dude, even if I'd gone wide receiver, and Kupp was there at number 30 for me to pick, I'd be like,
yes, please.
I guess I'm going wide receiver heavy.
3 in a row, make it nice. Boom.
Yeah,
definitely. I think what's funny about when we get into these 21 to 30 rank is the high-low, the drafted. Travis Kelce picked at 12 overall or midway through the 3rd round. You know what I mean? Like, the ROI really starts to really show into this bracket of players, like the 21 to 30. Your return on investment for like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to be big. You know, set it, forget it. Next 6 to 10 years, you know, you're going to get what you get. Yeah. The running backs probably are a lot less. And then what, like you were saying so eloquently, is that the wide receivers might have more bang for your buck at that kind of range. But yeah, I think it's very funny that Cooper Kupp is 30th on this list, and if he dropped to the last pick in the 3rd round, I would be a very happy person on the turn.
Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. You got DK and Devonta going there before him, and I think I'd take Kupp over those two.
Yeah.
Nothing against those two, but I think if you're looking at volume on a single team, then Kupp is the guy to go with. And
yeah,
I think again, I think you could get that for a couple more years easy. Some of the volume that you've seen from him in the past. I get, maybe people are worried about Stafford. I have to say it's probably a valid concern, but I haven't heard anything that's saying that he's not retiring. I'm not hearing anything saying that he's limited at all. So I think Cup right there at 30, man. I'd be all over it.
Yeah, shout out to our co-host Tank Top Mike for getting him for a bucket of bolts and a freaking gas station breakfast 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Freaking crazy. What I think is funny is that Chubb, I think, is low because of wide receivers. We're talking overall standings, obviously. Chubb is low in my opinion, and the top rusher last year, Josh Jacobs, is freaking 26.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I think Jacobs was higher, and he's dropping because of the holdout. So I mean that one's kind of hard to gauge, but I think
yeah.
But I think Chubb, again, it's an age thing. But now you take away Kareem Hunt, and you got Jerome Ford in his 2nd year, and who else? Demetric Felton. I mean, who's going to push Chubb to get on the field at all? So, and again, okay, he's a little bit older. Can he do it for another couple of years? I think so.
I think where ADP is coming through on Chubb is that they assume, like, I don't know what idea this is, but they assume that Deshaun Watson is going to go back there and sling the ball a zillion times and not use Chubb. What? That is absolutely crazy. Like, we're not going to use the best player on the field. Like, Chubb, even with Deshaun Watson on the field, Chubb is the best player on that freaking field.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know what I mean? Like,
and I still think
the coordinator that doesn't use Chubb to the max is just wanting to ask for his job to be taken away from him.
Yeah, I mean they've made moves that would indicate they want to pass more. Speaking of more, they got Elijah Moore, and they
subtle flex. I see what you're doing there. Nice job.
Wasn't really a flex; it was just a pun because I said they want to pass more, and they brought in Cedric Tillman, who I like. I think he was a semi sleeper because he was drafted a little bit lower in the draft. I think he can. But before it's all over with, I feel like he can be amongst the top rookies going in this year. So
top that'll be like just wide receivers or top like overall.
Yeah, wide receivers. I feel like he'll be like we were drafting Addison and Flowers in the first round. Of course, JSN. Of course, everybody was on him, but I think he, by the end of the year, you might be looking at him up there along with Addison and Flowers and maybe Quentin Johnston if you were in on Johnston. So yeah. So they're showing that they want to pass the ball a little more, but they're still a running team, and Chubb's going to get a lot of work. Ford, he's got dinged up here. I can't remember if it was hamstring or what it was with him. He's got an injury going on right now, which is a shame because it looked like it may be his time, but to be that backup guy, but now if Ford's hurt, what do they got behind him, man? They really don't have much.
Hamstrings injuries with me right now. Chase Claypool came up with grabbing his leg.
Yeah, he sure did. It looked like it was pretty severe one too, unfortunately. So
it's okay. I still got Jamar chasing that deal. I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay. All right, if you're ready, we can knock out the 31 through 40 if you're ready to make that move.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. 31, Javonte Williams, running back for the Denver team. 32, Devontae Adams, which is crazy yet again, like we have said. It's got to be because of his age. Number 33 is Najee Harris. Number 34 is Drake London. Drake London is going to get less points, has less ADP than Kyle Pitts. All right, we'll get back to that. Breaking news, 35 is DJ Moore. Did you hear that he's good? DJ Moore is good?
Shocking. I had not heard that. That.
36 is our third quarterback off the board in Jalen Hurts. 37 is Chris Godwin. I think he's a little high. 38 is Deebo Samuel. 39 is the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. And then number 40 to round it out is Christian Watson getting some love in Green Bay. All right. For me, DJ Moore is too low. Shocker, he's good.
I think he's a little too high. So we'll debate that.
Okay.
We'll debate that one. But what was your next point? I didn't mean to interrupt it, but
my second point is I think Chris Godwin is too high because of the quarterback. He's just like Mike Evans is still there. This is speaking from a Tampa Bay fan. Mike Evans is going to get as many balls as he needs to get 1,000 yards to keep his record going, or else we will lose Mike Evans, and that'd be an absolute travesty if we lost Mike Evans. He is the heart of our team besides Levante David. But I think that hurts. I think the quarterback play is just going to be god-awful this year, and for Chris Godwin to be 37, he would need to be probably touchdown dependent, but I don't really like him in the top 50, to be honest with you. But that's that's coming from me.
That's interesting. I just feel like it's probably he's Evans. I think has got the reputation as being the go route guy, which he is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he can't run the other routes. I think Godwin. I think and he actually has good success on other routes. And if you'll remember, there was a time when he was kind of dinged up, but he'd come in on goal to go situations and get touchdowns from Brady because he knew how to run the route to get open,
Yep.
But I think his reputation is the go route guy, and Godwin's got the reputation as the more short intermediate guy. I would think that's what's driving that ADP right now between those two. But yeah, on the DJ Moore, I feel like he's jumped up a little bit high, mainly because the pass volume hasn't been there. So you're telling yourself a story that Chicago's just going to pass the ball more, and that Fields is going to make a jump as a passer. Now, a guy like Moore can make Fields a better passer. A good receiver can make a average quarterback better than average. But, to me, you kind of have to tell yourself a story to get DJ Moore up that high.
All right. So here's my story, as you so elegantly said.
Tell me a story.
Chicago with Justin Fields was the number one offense for like 3 to 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks near like the middle of the end of the season, if I'm remembering correctly. And then you're adding DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a number one wide receiver that has been absolutely hamstrung in Carolina because they can't get their heads out of their backsides, which I absolutely love. I love that Carolina freaking sucks. Absolute. But DJ Moore is going to go to Chicago and be like, Justin Fields, I am your best wide receiver. Throw me the freaking ball. I will make you look good. If you need to tuck it and run it, do what you got to, but throw me the freaking ball. I'm going to play really, really well. So we got 5 minutes left. We're going to run through these real quick. All right, we're going to jump into the 41 through 50 to round this out. We got Christian Watson at 40. That's how we ended. DeAndre Swift at 41. Joe Burrow at 42. Treylon Burks at 43. We got Jerry Jeudy at 44. Derrick Henry comes in at 45. Pittman Jr. at 46. J.K. Dobbins at 47. TJ Hawkinson at 48, and Jameson Williams at 49. And then to complete the whole 50 is Brandon Ayuk. What do we think about Brandon Ayuk, sir, or anybody else from that 40 to 50?
I feel like Brandon Ayuk's going to be a steal there. I've been talking about him since last year, so I wouldn't. I'm sounding like the boy who cried wolf at this point, but I feel like Ayuk's a steal there down at number 50. I think there's guys I would like. You're looking at, he went behind Watson, Burks, Judy, Pittman, Jameson Williams. I'd take him over all those guys. I really would. Even maybe Chris Godwin jumping back up there, and of course DJ Moore.
I think Ayuk is slightly lower. I don't think he's as low as you think he is. So his high and low for draft is either the end of the 3rd round or like almost the end of the 5th round, which is almost 20 picks difference. So I think that's kind of where our difference is with our breakdown of Brandon Ayuk. I think I would take him over Treylon Burks, Jameson Williams, because he hasn't done much of anything. I would not take him over Jerry Jeudy, Pittman, or Christian Watson. Love is going to throw the ball to Watson because Love wants to prove himself worthy of the number 1 pick. And the best way to do that is to throw to the best hands on the team, and that's Watson, Christian Watson.
Yeah.
So I think that is going to be, I think Swift being down at 41 just is getting pushed down because of all these wide receivers. But Joe Burrow going down it as the 4th overall, I think is fine. I mean, you can go either way.
That's a good spot for him.
Yeah,
I'm good picking him there.
Yeah, I'm good.
And that's almost, it almost would be a good strategy to let the other guys take those quarterbacks high, knowing that you could get Joe Burrow down there at that level right there, man. That's still a nice. I mean,
he's going as high as the middle of the 3rd round and as low as the end of the 4th round. And if it's the 4th round and I'm looking at Joe Burrow, I'm snapping him up. I also have him in 3 different leagues, so I am very, very, very biased on Joe Burrow. Just a little ambiance of what happens after the 50th pick. We have Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. I'll get my head on my ass. Just wait. And then Justin Fields going in the next 10 right after that. So if you can get Joe Burrow right before the run on quarterbacks, I think you'd be good. But if you fail in getting a quarterback and you fell to the mid-60s and picked up Justin Fields, I think you'd be fine too. But as an overall idea from the 50 on up, I think Travis Kelce should be freaking writing hate mail to Fantasy Football Calculator right now. Absolutely travesty right there. And I think Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs should be higher than 22 and 26 respectively. Eckler being in the top 20 and not top 10 is just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah,
if he is there at the end of the 1st round or end of the 2nd round, which is where he's going at low, I will pick him up every time and twice on Sunday. What do you think? What is your ending thoughts there, Marky Mark?
Yeah, with Eckler, if I was picking towards the end of the round and I could get him around the turn, I'd be happy. That'd be a great one to start with. Get a real good receiver in Eckler, man. You get a great start right there.
Yeah, man. That's a 9-10 turn dream or 11-12 turn dream.
Exactly.
Like if you picked up like Jalen Waddle or Garrett Wilson on the end of the turn, and then you came back around and picked up Eckler, dude, you're going to be looking good. You're going to be looking real good.
Good with me. All right, buddy, take us out of here. Good show.
All right. That's the cue. That's the end of our show, the NAO show. We did a little something different this time. We're going to do a little something different next time. But like always, Ian, you suck.